And we're back. Welcome back to another Coffee with Laura. I, of course, am Laura. And as a reminder, I am here to help you build a bridge between where you are and where you want to be, whether that involves your confidence, your mindset, your nutrition, your fitness, whatever. Anything health, let's cover it. So if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to let me know so I can come up with one of these and help you figure out how to get there. But today is about how to build unstoppable habits or how to train the brain so that you can get the desired movement and honestly any other habit that you desire. When we think of habits, let's start with why are they so mesmerizing or lustful, so to speak. And it's largely because we understand that once something becomes a habit, it takes less effort for us. We naturally fall into certain consistent patterns, and habits are one of those. So, what we're searching for and why we like habits is we trust them to be something that we will repeat over and over again. And when we think of health, for instance, or moving your body or eating well, if you are having a habit of eating well or a habit of moving your body, you're likely going to be able to trust that that will be part of your life. Weirdly, we also have habits that we don't necessarily recognize, like a habit of being stressed out or a habit of being anxious about things we can't control. Those habits we can change just like the habits we currently have that we enjoy or ones that we want to build. But ultimately, the whole thing about habits is that we're kind of searching for an easy button. But let's cover a couple important things before I tell you the solution of how to build unstoppable habits. It's really simple, but you're not going to like it. Just trust me. First, one of the main challenges we face is our all or nothing thinking. When people think about, introducing a new workout routine, they don't think, okay, I'm going to work out once next week. They think, all right, Monday, I'm going to work out on Monday, and then I'm going to work out, Wednesday and Friday, or for a lot of people, they tell themselves they're going to work out 5 days in a row. And what happens? They miss a Monday. It wasn't the right day. No, I'll start next week. Why not Tuesday? Why not the next day? If we don't do it on the kind of assigned day that our brain came up with, we typically delay until the next initiation. And for a lot of us, we view a Monday as an initiation because that kind of starts our work week or our school week. Makes sense? But it also kind of sets us up to fail. When we think we either need to meal prep all meals or none, we're going to lean into the none. When we think that we need to work out as hard as possible every single day, we're probably not going to do much. When we create this idealized version of what we want this habits to be, and then we expect ourselves to just kind of get there right out the gate, we put too much pressure on ourselves and we end up not doing anything, which just feeds the comfort cycle we're in. But then comes the guilt and the judgment and all that jazz. Super fun, right? So if you notice that you are doing that, where you're creating a habit that feels hard to reach, that's a sign you need to make it smaller to begin with. Because if you already feel like that's a lot to ask yourself, your brain's going to agree with you. So let me remind you about the limbic system, because this is the second part of our brain that kind of is our unconscious controller, so to speak, that works beneath our conscious awareness and drives our actions and creates a lot of self-sabotage because at the end of the day, we like comfort. The limbic system has 3 objectives: seek pleasure, conserve energy, avoid pain. When we're talking about building new habits, first thing you need to know, you're not going to conserve energy. So instantly your limbic brain is like, I don't want to. If that perceived habit, or if that habit has a perceived pain, so movement, for example, a lot of people have a perceived pain with it, or meal prepping, people have perceived pain in terms of the cleaning or the time commitment. That's 2 strikes against the limbic system, making it the internal friction harder and harder to overcome. So when you're trying to build a new habit, the first sign that you're kind of working against your limbic system is that thought that I just mentioned with the all or nothing thinking of like, that kind of feels like a lot, or like, all right, I'm going to do it, but I'm a little uncertain if I actually can. The self-doubt in that moment is actually guiding you to reassess why you're setting such a high goal to begin with. Now, I like goals. I'm a high achiever. I get it. But we have an issue with building into them. We want to jump to perfection instead of being able to build into it. And it's because we use perfection as a shield against vulnerability, but that's a different conversation. So, in terms of your limbic system, when you're building new habits, if you notice resistance or uncertainty, you might need to make it smaller. What our brain does like, limbic system does like, is pleasure. And you know what is pleasurable? When we actually do what we say we're going to do. So if you say that you're going to start a movement routine, don't start on Monday, start on Friday. Go only Friday for a month, maybe even 2, just to prove to yourself that you can. And considering we naturally view Friday as the end of our week because the weekend then starts, it feels like a natural closure, just like Monday feels like a natural kind of starter to our week. But if you want to meal prep, don't try and meal prep every single meal. Try meal prep 1. Not even like multiple servings of one, just 1. Just allow yourself to dabble with it so your brain sees like, okay, we can do this. This is survivable. And the energy isn't, monumental. The friction that we kind of are experiencing isn't extreme. But that's how your body kind of tells you like you're setting yourself up for success or you're setting yourself up to fail. The problem we face, besides our all or nothing thinking, is how we attach ourselves to the end goal instead of realizing it's a journey, which we kind of talked about, or I just touched on with the whole building into it. We want whatever we believe we're going to get when we do work out 5 times a week, when we do meal prep, when we do meditate, whatever the, habit you're trying to build is. We want the end result we believe we're going to get. And it's not working out 5 times a week. It's whatever we think the result will be because we do that. What do we get because we meal prep all of our meals? What do we get because we meditate frequently? Whatever that answer is, that's secretly what you're seeking. And the solution you came up with in order to get that is the habit that you're trying to make. So if you can understand, I'm trying to feel healthier. Maybe that is satisfied by just 1 workout on a Friday. Maybe you need 5 workouts. Maybe you need 2 a day. Like, the problem is we just attach to all these outcomes that our brain comes up with and believe them. And then when we can't follow through with them, we judge ourselves for them. It's a flaw within the system. So the last issue, because this is a big, big one, is the time-based thinking. So often when you're building habits, people ask, how many days? And different studies suggest different answers. You can see 21 days, different places, 60 days, 100 days, a year. I've seen all answers in all a variety of different studies. The truth is you're thinking wrong if that's your question. Going back to what we first said when we first started this, the whole reason we want to build a habit is because we want to hit the easy button. We want to create a consistent space where we can kind of face less friction in order to get the desired result. Okay, but when you think, when do I get it? That means, when do I have to stop putting effort forth? You might not think that's what you're thinking, but your subconscious brain is thinking that. You're looking for, when can I hit the easy button? It's different for each person, and each habit is different within each person. That's the whole problem. The answer isn't about time. The answer is experience. But understand, if you're having that thought of how long will it take before this becomes a habit, that's a red flag. You're searching for the expiration date of your effort. If that is true, that also likely means your desired habit is too big, because if it feels like you need to stop it at some point, that's willpower. So all or nothing thinking is going to get you in trouble. Seeking perfection and not being able to build yourself to that goal, going to get you in trouble. Trying to be too big all at once, kind of the all or nothing thinking. Remember, it goes against our limbic system, which always gets the control over our frontal cortex. And finally, time-based thinking is your final red flag. It means you're not really in it. It means you're really not committed. You're just looking for the expiration date of effort. So, Laura, great, but what's the actual solution? Remember, I'm going to tell you what it is, but you're probably not going to like it. Do the smallest thing humanly possible. So if you want to move your body, get up, walk to the bathroom, come back, that's it. Go to the gym, take 1 lap around the gym, and leave. You want to start meal prepping? Get the ingredients, cook 1 thing, that's it. Why start this small? Every time that our brain has to face something that is unfamiliar, it's perceived as a threat until it's proven safe. So going to the gym and experiencing the discomfort of getting healthy feels like a threat to our body. And it will work against you hormonally and mentally to create anxiety and stress and, show you different priorities that need your time and your attention so that you don't follow through with the new perceived potential threat. And that's really what it's about. So if you make the action so freaking small that it couldn't be a threat, it goes unrecognized by your brain almost, and then it makes it easier for you to build on top of it. Again, I said you're not going to like it because I don't like it either. I want the end result just like all you guys do. I wish I could jump to the top of the mountain and have all the things that I think I'm going to get from all the habits I wish I could build. But we're human. I've just accepted that that's not how it works, and that actually seeing yourself build into the desired habit and desired goal kind of helps you believe in yourself and remember what you're made of. So any habit you're trying to build should take less than 2 minutes. So if you want to go to the gym, just go to the gym. If you want to drink more water, literally fill up a water bottle, and just let that be it. The habit of actually doing it, the initiation, that's the energy that makes it so hard for us. And then when you do that small thing, enjoy it, seek the pleasure in it. And then what you don't, well, maybe you understand, most people don't, is you're teaching your ego you're the conscious controller. A lot of times I tell my clients, get down and give me 1 push-up, but no more. They don't like doing that. And most of them end up giving me more because if you're down there to do 1, you may as well do more. But that's the conscious controller. It's breaking free of the program of what you should do or what perfection looks like, or the fear that ultimately drives so many of these, unspoken desires. So if you're looking to build unstoppable habits, whether that be with your movement or anywhere, 2 minutes or less. And if you feel any of those red flags, that means you're working against yourself because you're afraid of something. So with that being said, if you need any support on the habits that you're building or what that might look like, I have a bunch of freebies on my website. Make sure you visit it because they're awesome. And understand that all of this, our ability to build confidence, our ability to, regulate our emotions, our ability to stay consistent to who we want to be stems from our view of ourselves and our confidence within. So if you aren't sure where you stand with that, that might mean your confidence needs a little bit of a boost. And that's good news because I got some pretty exciting things in the works. So keep your eye out because I got some discounts coming your way pretty soon for a brand new course that will make all of this really transform, because at the center of it is all how we think of ourselves. When we think that we can do things, when we have confidence in ourselves, we can follow through with our movement. We can meal prep. We can regulate our stress. We can meditate. We can do pretty much anything when we believe in ourselves. But what stops us from believing in ourselves is a lack of confidence. No more. So make sure you stay tuned and work on those habits. Break them down super small. Build the belief in yourself. And make sure you continue to join me for Coffee with Laura because I love seeing you here. And I will see you next week.